What if the feeling of emptiness that haunts you is not a void, but a message? What if the numbness you feel is not a sign that life is meaningless, but a signal that you are ready to build a deeper meaning? The path out of the gray fog begins with listening to the silence within. Find your purpose when life feels empty, compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lessons 1. Numb inside, a signal within. Imagine the vast, powerful engine room of a great ocean liner. For years, it has thrummed with a deafening roar, its mighty pistons driving the ship forward with unstoppable momentum. But one day, the roar ceases. An unnerving, heavy silence falls over the room. To the untrained passenger, this silence simply feels like an emptiness, a deadness, the end of the journey. But to the ship's engineer, this silence is not an emptiness, it is a signal. It is a clear, urgent, and incredibly valuable piece of information that says, attention is required here. The source of power has been interrupted. That heavy silence in the engine room is the feeling of numbness in your soul. This brings us to one of the most quiet and desperate inner conflicts a person can face. The feeling of being numb inside, of going through the motions of a life that suddenly feels hollow and devoid of color. You wake up, you go to work, you eat, you sleep, but the thrum of purpose, the engine of your why, has gone silent. You feel a strange and troubling peace that is not peace at all, but a lack of feeling. The problem statement is this: we mistake this inner numbness for the final verdict on our lives. We believe this gray, empty feeling is proof that life is meaningless, that we are broken, or that there is no hope for finding passion or joy again. We see the silence as the disease, when in fact it is a critical and mercifully clear symptom that something deeper requires our attention. The transformative solution is to learn to see your inner numbness, not as a void, but as a vital signal. You must become the wise engineer of your own soul, who upon hearing the engines go quiet, does not despair, but calmly picks up his tools and begins a diagnostic check. The core idea is that a profound feeling of emptiness is almost always a message that your daily actions have become disconnected from your core values. The engine has stalled because it is no longer being fed the proper fuel. The numbness is a protective mechanism, a way for your soul to conserve energy when it is being spent on things that do not truly nourish it. It is not a sign of death, it is a call to action. This Stoic perspective transforms a state of passive despair into a moment of active, purposeful inquiry. The Stoics taught that the goal of life is to live with virtue and purpose, in accordance with our own highest nature. A life lived out of alignment with that nature will inevitably feel hollow. That feeling of emptiness is your inner compass, telling you that you have wandered off your true path. It is a gift, a chance to recalibrate and find your way back to a life of meaning. To begin this diagnostic process, you must create a meaning log. For the next week, your task is not to find your grand purpose, but simply to gather data. At 3 set times during the day, morning, afternoon, and evening, you will pause and write down what you are currently doing. Next to that activity, you will rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how meaningful and purposeful that activity feels to you. Not how fun it is, not how pleasant it is, but how much it feels aligned with the best version of yourself. Be brutally honest. Scrolling through social media might be a 1. Completing a challenging project at work might be a 7. Having a deep conversation with a loved one might be a 9. Watching meaningless television might be a 2. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will create a clear, undeniable map of where your life's energy is going. You will see in black and white which activities are fueling your engine and which ones are causing it to stall. This map does not give you the destination, but it shows you exactly where you are right now. The numbness will begin to recede, replaced by a sense of clarity and purpose, because you are no longer a passenger on a stalled ship. You are the engineer, with a blueprint in hand, ready to get the engine roaring again. Once we have this data, we can diagnose the core issue, which is often a disconnection from our own inner compass. In our next lesson, we will explore this disconnection from the inner core. If you are ready to listen to the signal within the silence, declare it in the comments below. I will read the signal. Your commitment to this self-examination helps our entire community start their engines. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel and like this video to support our journey. Lessons 2. Disconnection from the inner core. Imagine a ship's captain, a master of navigation, who suddenly finds himself locked out of the navigation room. He is still on the ship. He can feel the swell of the ocean and the heat of the sun, but he has lost his connection to the essential tools of his trade, the compass, the sextant, and the charts. Without access to this inner core of navigation, he is effectively lost. He might try to steer by guessing, by following other ships, or by the vague direction of the sun, but his journey becomes one of chance and anxiety. He is on his own ship, but he is no longer its true master because he is disconnected from its guiding intelligence. This is a powerful metaphor for the state of feeling empty and without purpose. This illustrates a deep and disorienting inner conflict. We feel adrift in our own lives. We go through the motions, we do what is expected of us, but we feel a profound sense of disconnection from any real internal guidance system. The problem statement is this. This feeling of emptiness is a direct result of being disconnected from our inner core, our authentic values, our natural inclinations, and our deepest sense of self. We have become the captain locked out of the navigation room. Why? Because from a young age, we are encouraged to navigate using external signals, the expectations of our parents, the approval of our peers, the values promoted by society. We learn to steer by following other ships, and in the process, we forget how to read our own compass. The result is a life that may look successful on the outside, but feels hollow and inauthentic on the inside. The transformative solution is to pick the lock on the navigation room door. You must embark on a conscious journey of reconnection with your own inner core. The core idea is that you were born with a guidance system. There is a deep, intuitive part of you that knows what is truly meaningful to you. The project of finding your purpose is not about inventing something new. It is about rediscovering what has been there all along. It is about brushing the dust off the old compass, unrolling the ancient charts of your own heart, and learning to trust your own navigational tools again. This is a central theme in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics urge their students to live in accordance with nature, not just the natural world, but their own true, rational, and virtuous nature. They believed that a good life was one of integrity, where a person's inner self and outer actions were in perfect alignment. This connection to the inner core is the source of all authentic purpose and unshakable peace. To begin this process of reconnection, you must practice the compass reading exercise. For the next week, you will dedicate 15 minutes each day to journaling with a specific set of prompts designed to reacquaint you with your inner guidance system. You will answer these questions with the goal of remembering, not inventing. Question 1. When in my life have I felt most alive and most like my true self? What was I doing and who was I with? Think back to moments of flow, of deep engagement, of authentic joy. These are clues from your compass. Question 2. What did I love to do as a child before the world told me what I should be interested in? Often our purest, most natural inclinations are revealed in our childhood passions. Question 3. If I didn't have to worry about money or the judgment of others, what problem in the world would I be most drawn to solving? This question helps to uncover your innate values and desire for contribution. As you write down the answers to these questions over the course of the week, you are not looking for a single, grand answer. You are looking for patterns. You are looking for the common threads that run through your moments of greatest aliveness. These threads are the cardinal directions of your inner compass. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will begin to feel a renewed sense of connection to your own authentic self. The voice of your own intuition, long drowned out by external noise, will begin to grow louder and clearer. You are no longer the lost captain, adrift on a vast sea. You have found the key, you have opened the door to the navigation room, and you are taking your rightful place at the helm. Reconnecting with our inner core shows us our true north. But a compass is useless if the ship has no means of propulsion. In our next lesson, we will learn how to begin moving forward by rebuilding meaning through small, deliberate acts. If you are ready to rediscover your inner compass, declare it in the comments below. I will unlock the navigation room. Your commitment to this journey helps everyone in our community find their way. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel and continue your voyage. Lessons 3. Rebuilding meaning through small acts. Imagine our captain, now reconnected with his compass and charts, but his ship is adrift in a windless sea. The engine is still quiet. He has a direction, but no momentum. A foolish captain might wait for a great wind of inspiration to fill his sails, a wind that may never come. He might despair, concluding that his destination is unreachable. But the wise, stoic captain does something different. He ignores the vast, intimidating stillness of the ocean and focuses on the one thing he can do. He goes to the back of the ship, takes up a single oar, and performs one small, deliberate, and seemingly insignificant action. He rows. Then he rows again. The ship barely moves. But with each small act, a tiny ripple of momentum is created. He knows that 1,000 small oar strokes patiently applied can cross an entire ocean. This highlights a critical inner conflict when we feel lost and empty. We have rediscovered a sense of our own values, but the task of building a new, purposeful life feels overwhelming, like trying to move a massive, stalled ship. The problem statement is this: we are paralyzed by the grand scale of our ambition. We think that to have a purposeful life, we need to find one single, grand, passionate calling. And because we can't find it, we do nothing. We are the captain waiting for the hurricane of inspiration, dismissing the power of the humble oar. This all-or-nothing thinking keeps us adrift, stuck in the same empty stillness, waiting for a motivation that is generated only by action itself. The transformative solution is to start rowing. You must embrace the Stoic principle of rebuilding meaning not through grand gestures, but through small, consistent, virtuous acts. The core idea is that purpose is not something you think your way into. It is something you act your way into. Meaning is not found. It is built. It is built like a great wall, one small, well-laid brick at a time. By focusing on taking one small, positive action that aligns with your values, and then another, you begin to generate the very momentum and motivation you were waiting for. The engine doesn't start first, allowing the ship to move. The small movement of the oars is what eventually helps get the great engine started. This is a deeply practical application of Stoic ethics. The Stoics taught that the only thing that truly matters is virtuous action in the present moment. They were not concerned with a person's grand, abstract purpose, but with whether they were being brave, just, and disciplined right now. They knew that a lifetime of small, virtuous oar strokes is what creates a life of profound meaning and achievement. To begin this practice of rebuilding meaning, you must choose your one oar stroke. For the next week, based on the patterns you discovered in your compass reading, you will choose one single, small daily action that feels aligned with your true self. If you discovered that you feel most alive when learning, your oar stroke might be to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book each day. If you discovered you value contribution, your oar stroke might be to perform one small, unexpected act of kindness for someone each day. If you value health, it might be a 10-minute walk. The action must be laughably small. It should be so easy that there is almost no excuse not to do it. Your goal is not to cross the ocean this week. Your goal is to simply get comfortable with the rhythm of rowing. Each day you complete your chosen action, you have taken one successful stroke. You are proving to yourself that you have the power to move the ship, however slightly. The profound benefit of this practice is that it breaks the spell of paralysis. It gets your ship moving. You will find that these small acts begin to generate a quiet sense of pride and self-respect. They generate a small amount of positive energy and motivation, which makes the next day's oar stroke a little easier. You are creating a positive feedback loop of action and energy. The empty stillness of being adrift is being replaced by the purposeful stillness of a long-distance rower, patiently and powerfully making his way across the sea. These small acts build meaning, but the journey will not always be smooth. There will be pain and hardship. In our next lesson, we will learn how to align the pain of our efforts with a powerful sense of personal duty. If you are ready to start rowing, declare it in the comments below. I will take up my oar. Your commitment to small actions creates a powerful current for our entire community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 4. Aligning pain with personal duty. Let us return to our rower, the captain of the stalled ship, now making his way across the vast, empty ocean with small, deliberate strokes. The work is hard. The sun beats down on him. His muscles ache with a deep, burning fire, and his hands are covered in painful blisters. There are moments when the pain seems overwhelming, when the sheer, grinding effort feels pointless against the backdrop of the immense sea. He could easily give in to this pain, see it as a sign to stop, a punishment to be avoided. But the wise captain, the Stoic captain, performs a powerful mental shift. He does not see the pain as an enemy. He sees it as proof of his commitment. The ache in his muscles is the feeling of his own strength being forged. The blisters on his hands are the medals of his perseverance. He has aligned his pain with his personal duty to save his ship and his crew, and this alignment transforms the pain from a torment into an honorable sacrifice. This illustrates a profound inner conflict we face whenever we pursue a worthy goal. The path to anything meaningful, be it physical fitness, professional mastery, or personal growth, is inevitably paved with pain and discomfort. The problem statement is this: we have a fundamentally negative relationship with the pain of effort. We see it as a signal to stop, as a sign that we are doing something wrong. We want the prize without the pain, the victory without the battle. This aversion to the necessary pain of growth is why we quit the gym, why we abandon the difficult project, why we give up on our dreams. We allow the temporary pain of the process to eclipse the long-term purpose of the goal. The transformative solution is to learn to align your pain with a sense of personal duty. You must consciously reframe the discomfort of effort as the honorable and necessary price of achieving your purpose. The core idea is that the meaning you assign to your pain determines its power over you. Pain without a purpose is suffering, but pain in the service of a noble duty is sacrifice. It is empowering. The athlete endures the agony of training because it is her duty to her potential. The soldier endures the hardship of the field because it is his duty to his comrades and his country. When you see your effort as a duty, the pain associated with it becomes not just tolerable, but meaningful. The Stoics were masters of this mindset. They saw life as a form of military service to virtue and to the human community. Their personal duty was to be the best human being they could be, regardless of the circumstances. This sense of duty gave them the strength to endure exile, poverty, and even death with a calm resolve. They understood that the pain of doing their duty was infinitely preferable to the deeper, corrosive pain of neglecting it. To begin this practice, you must redefine your relationship with the effort required to achieve your goals. You will practice the duty reframe. For the next week, for every task that requires hard, uncomfortable effort, you will not see it as a chore. You will see it as your duty. Before you begin the task, you will state your duty to yourself. For example, instead of thinking, I have to go to the gym, you will say, it is my duty to care for my physical health so I can be strong for my family. Instead of, I have to work on this boring report, you will say, it is my duty to my colleagues and my profession to do this work with excellence and integrity. As you are performing the difficult task and you feel the pain of the effort, you will not shrink from it. You will lean into it and remind yourself, this feeling is the evidence of my duty being done. This is the honorable cost of my commitment. You are consciously linking the sensation of discomfort with the noble feeling of fulfilling your personal duty. The profound benefit of this practice is that it will unlock a new and powerful source of motivation within you. You will find that you are capable of enduring far more discomfort than you ever thought possible, because that discomfort now has a noble meaning. It is no longer just pain, it is the feeling of your own character being strengthened in the service of what matters most. You are no longer the complaining passenger. You are the captain, finding honor in the blisters that come from rowing his ship toward a worthy harbor. Aligning pain with duty gives us the strength to endure. But to endure for the long haul, we need a resilience that is built from a place of deep inner peace. In our next lesson, we will explore how true resilience is built from inner silence. If you are ready to embrace your duty, declare it in the comments below. I find honor in the effort. Your commitment to this mindset strengthens the resolve of our entire community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 5. Resilience built from inner silence. Imagine our captain rowing his ship across the sea. A storm hits. The winds howl and great waves crash over the deck. This is a moment of intense external chaos. A panicked captain would be consumed by the noise, his mind racing, his decisions frantic and flawed. He would exhaust his energy fighting every wave, shouting against the wind. But the Stoic captain has been practicing. He has learned to access a place of deep silence within himself, the eye of his own inner storm. From this quiet center, he can observe the chaos without being consumed by it. He can feel the ship rise and fall with the waves, but his own core remains steady. His resilience, his ability to withstand the storm and continue making wise decisions, is not born from frantic energy, but from his connection to a profound inner silence. This brings us to a crucial inner conflict. We want to be resilient. We want to be the person who can handle pressure and bounce back from setbacks. The problem statement is this: we often try to build resilience through force and tension. We think resilience means gritting our teeth, tensing our muscles, and powering through a challenge with sheer brute willpower. This approach can work in the short term, but it is incredibly draining. It is like trying to hold a defensive posture against every single wave. Eventually, you become exhausted, and a big enough wave will overwhelm you. This tense form of resilience is brittle. The transformative solution is to build a more profound and sustainable resilience, one that is born from inner silence. The core idea is that true resilience is not about tension, but about tranquility. It is the ability to maintain a calm and spacious mind, even in the midst of chaos. This inner stillness allows you to absorb the shocks of life without being shattered by them. It is like the difference between a brittle piece of glass and a supple piece of bamboo. The glass, rigid and tense, shatters under pressure. The bamboo, flexible and relaxed, bends with the wind and then returns to its original shape, unharmed. Inner silence is what gives your mind the quality of the bamboo. This is a core teaching of Stoic masters like Marcus Aurelius, who famously said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." A mind constantly dyed with thoughts of stress, tension, and reactivity will become a brittle soul. A mind that regularly steeps itself in silence and calm will become a resilient soul. The silence is not an escape from the problem. It is the strategic retreat that allows you to access the clarity and strength needed to solve the problem effectively. To begin building this form of resilience, you must integrate the practice of silence into the very moment of a challenge. This is the practice of the silent pause. For the next week, whenever you feel yourself entering a stressful or challenging situation, you will not immediately engage. You will first take a silent pause for 30 seconds. During this pause, you will not think about the problem. You will bring your full attention to one simple, physical anchor. It could be the sensation of your feet on the floor. It could be the feeling of your hands resting on your legs. Or it could be your breath. You will simply observe this neutral sensation for 30 seconds. You are deliberately disengaging from the storm of reactive thoughts and anchoring yourself in the quiet reality of the present moment. You are finding the eye of the storm. Only after this 30-second pause, after you have reconnected with your inner stillness, will you engage with the challenge. You will be amazed at how different the challenge looks from this place of calm. Problems that seemed insurmountable will appear manageable. Your own creative solutions will have a chance to emerge from the quiet. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will be actively training your nervous system to meet stress with calm instead of tension. You will be building the muscle of equanimity. your resilience will increase dramatically because you will be wasting less energy on internal friction and will have more energy available for intelligent, external action. You are no longer the brittle glass, bracing for impact. You are the resilient bamboo, learning to bend with the wind and stand tall once it has passed. Resilience built from silence allows us to endure. But to find a true guiding purpose, we must also learn the power of self-restraint. In our next lesson, we will explore how a noble purpose grows from the soil of self-restraint. If you are ready to find strength and stillness, declare it in the comments below. I am the bamboo. Your commitment to this flexible strength inspires our entire community. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 6. Purpose grows from self-restraint. Let us return once more to our captain on his long sea voyage. His ship has limited resources, a finite amount of fresh water, of food, of fuel for the lamps. A foolish, unrestrained captain would indulge himself and his crew. They would feast in the early days, burn the lamps all night, and use the water for washing instead of just for drinking. They would prioritize short-term pleasure and comfort. As a result, halfway through their journey, they would find themselves with empty barrels and dwindling supplies. Their voyage now a desperate struggle for survival. The wise captain, however, understands that purpose is intimately linked with self-restraint. He rations the food and water with care. He insists the lamps be extinguished at a set time. His self-restraint is not a punishment. It is the very discipline that ensures there will be enough resources to reach the final, glorious destination. This highlights a subtle but powerful inner conflict. We want to live a life of purpose, but we live in a culture that celebrates unrestrained indulgence and instant gratification. The problem statement is this: a lack of self-restraint is the enemy of a purposeful life. We dissipate our most precious resources, our time, our focus, our energy, our willpower, on 1,000 trivial distractions and fleeting pleasures. We are the foolish captain, feasting on junk food, burning our time on meaningless entertainment, and wasting our willpower on petty arguments. Then we wonder why we feel we have no energy left to pursue our higher goals. We have squandered our resources before the real voyage has even begun. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic virtue of temperance, or self-restraint, as the soil from which a purposeful life grows. The core idea is that by consciously saying no to the lesser things, you create the space and conserve the resources to say yes to the greater things. Every act of self-restraint is an act of clarification. It is a declaration of what truly matters to you. When you choose not to mindlessly scroll on your phone, you are saying, my focused attention is more valuable than this distraction. When you choose not to engage in gossip, you are saying, my integrity is more important than this fleeting sense of inclusion. Self-restraint is not about deprivation, it is about wise resource management for the sake of your ultimate mission. The Stoics saw self-restraint as a prerequisite for freedom. A person who is a slave to their appetites and impulses is not truly free, no matter how wealthy or powerful they are. True freedom is the ability to govern oneself, to choose reason over impulse, and to direct one's resources toward a life of virtue. They understood that a great purpose requires great energy, and that energy must be protected and conserved through the daily practice of self-restraint. To begin this practice, you must conduct a resource audit. For the next week, your task is to identify one primary area where you are squandering a key resource. For many, the squandered resource is time and focus, wasted on digital distractions. You will then implement a purposeful fast. This means choosing a specific period each day where you will fast from that distraction. For example, you might decide, there will be no social media or news websites for the first 2 hours of my workday, or my phone will be turned off and in another room after 9 p.m. During this fasting period, you will feel the pull of your habit, the discomfort of restraint. This is the moment of growth. Instead of giving in, you will take the time and energy you have saved and consciously reinvest it into an activity that serves your higher purpose. You will read a book, work on your personal project, or spend quality time with a loved one. You are not just creating a void, you are filling that void with meaning. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will feel your personal power and momentum begin to build. You will be amazed at how much time and energy you actually have when you stop wasting it. Your life will feel less chaotic and more intentional. You are no longer the foolish captain arriving at mid-voyage with empty barrels. You are the wise commander, well supplied and on course, because you have had the discipline to conserve your resources for what truly matters. Purpose grows from self-restraint, giving us a clear direction. But what is the final guide, the ultimate compass for our journey when all other instruments fail? In our final lesson, we will discover that stillness itself is the final compass. If you are ready to conserve your power for your purpose, declare it in the comments below. I will protect my resources. Your commitment to this discipline helps our entire community stay the course. Please remember to subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel. Lesson 7. Stillness is the final compass. Let us return one last time to our captain, now in the final stages of his long and arduous voyage. He has navigated storms, he has endured the windless doldrums, he has rationed his supplies with discipline. Now imagine that his sophisticated navigational tools, his sextant and his chronometer, are lost or broken. A thick fog descends and he cannot see the sun or the stars. He is sailing in a world without external reference points. The novice captain would panic. He would be truly lost. But the master captain has one final, infallible tool to rely on. Deep in the hold of the ship, sealed away from the magnetic interference of the ship's metal, is a simple, perfectly balanced magnetic compass, floating in a bowl of still liquid. No matter how the ship turns, no matter how chaotic the world outside, this needle always, silently, points to true north. This compass is the captain's own inner stillness. This is the final metaphor for our journey. We have learned to build resilience, to find purpose, to practice discipline. But there will be times in life when all our plans fail, when our external world becomes completely disoriented, when we feel utterly lost and cannot see the way forward. The final inner conflict is our reliance on external validation and direction. The problem statement is that when these external compasses fail, we lose the job that gave us our identity, a relationship that defined our life ends, a belief system shatters. We are left with a terrifying sense of being completely and hopelessly lost. We have forgotten how to access our own internal, infallible compass. The transformative solution, the ultimate goal of all Stoic practice, is to recognize that your own inner stillness is the final and most reliable compass. The core idea is that beneath the noise of your thinking mind and the turmoil of your emotions, there is a deep, quiet, and wise center within you. This is your true self, your inner daimon, as the Stoics might call it. This center is always oriented toward what is right, what is true, and what is virtuous. It is your connection to the Logos, the universal reason. When all other guides fail, you can always find your true north by returning to this profound inner silence. This is the pinnacle of Stoic self-sufficiency and trust. It is the deep, experiential knowledge that the answers you seek are not out in the world, but within you. The role of all the Stoic practices, the discipline, the self-restraint, the reframing, is ultimately to clear away the noise and the mental clutter so that you can hear the silent, unerring guidance of your own inner compass. To begin this final practice of trusting your inner compass, you must learn to consult the stillness. The next time you feel truly lost, confused, or faced with a decision where the logical paths seem unclear, you will not frantically seek advice from others. You will first perform this ritual. You will find a quiet space, and for 20 minutes, you will practice the stillness meditation we have discussed. You will let the mud of your anxious thoughts settle completely. Once you have reached a state of deep inner calm, you will silently pose your question to the stillness within. Do not look for an answer in words or thoughts. Instead, you will pay attention to the feeling, the subtle, intuitive sense that arises from the quiet. You will present one path and then the other, and you will feel which one resonates with your deep inner sense of rightness, which one feels more aligned with your true north. This is a practice of deep listening, not of aggressive thinking. The profound benefit of this practice is that you will cultivate an unbreakable trust in yourself. You will no longer fear being lost, because you will know that you carry your own infallible compass within you at all times. This is the source of true, unshakable confidence. It is the quiet power of a person who is always connected to their own true north. You are no longer just the captain of the ship. You are the living embodiment of its unshakable guiding principle. From the silence of the engine room to the silence of the final compass, you have learned the path to finding purpose when life feels empty. You know now that stillness is your strength. Small acts build great meaning, and your truest guide lies within. This is the Stoic path to a full and meaningful life. Thank you for dedicating your time to this journey of profound self-discovery. Your commitment to finding your own purpose is a light that illuminates the world. If this journey has helped you find your way, please like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the Stoic Dominion channel to stay on course.